What's up, everybody? I hope you're ready for a new episode of... This week we'll be talking about Adam and Eve. We're going to pick this up right after last week's episode of the story of creation. So, God created man. God formed man from the dust from the ground. He breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And then the man became a living creature as we know as Adam. It was like God's version of building your own snowman. Except you didn't need a hat or a button nose, anything like that. He was just like... Then God continued to plant his garden in Eden. This is where he placed Adam. In the garden, God commanded the trees to spring up, which were beautiful and that were good for food. With this being God, I wonder what kind of food was on these trees. I'm talking pizza, French fries, burgers. I don't know. Now, in the middle of the garden, God created the tree of life, which had the knowledge of good and evil. Now, this garden was beautiful. A river flowed out of the Eden to water the garden, which then divided into 4 other rivers. The first river was called Pishon. The second river was called Gihon. The third being Tigris, and the last one being Euphrates. Now, God took Adam to the Garden of Eden to work and to keep it. But God commanded him, "You may surely eat of every tree in the garden. But if the tree of knowledge of good and evil, you shall not eat. For if you eat it, you shall surely die." This is how I felt about eating vegetables. I thought I was going to die. Now God knew that Adam should not be alone. So God formed every beast of the field and every bird of the heavens and brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. Adam gave names to all of the livestock, birds, and the beasts of the field. Can you imagine naming every animal? I wonder how he named some of these. He was probably like, that one poked me, so I'm going to call it a porcupine. And that one stunk, so I'm going to call it a skunk. But how did he come up with armadillo or platypus? Now, Adam was getting sad because there was no one like him. So God put him in a deep, deep sleep. Kind of like drinking a warm glass of milk. If that works. I've never did it. While Adam was in his deep sleep, God took one of his ribs out of his body. With the rib, he created a woman. Adam probably saw this and was like, Adam said, "This at last is bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she came out of man." Don't you just love poetry? At this point, Adam married the woman and called her Eve. Aww! Don't you just love weddings? Now, this is when things get really complicated. A serpent approached Eve and said, "Hey, yo, girl. Did God actually say that you couldn't eat from any tree in the garden?" Eve replied, "We may eat of the fruit of any tree in the garden, but God said you shall not eat of the fruit of the tree that is in the midst of the garden, or you shall die." Psst. You won't die. God knows that if you eat from it, that your eyes will be open and you'll be like him, knowing good and evil. So now Eve saw the tree as good and wanted to become wise. So she took a fruit from the tree and ate it, also giving some to Adam. This is like watching a scary movie when the girl is clearly going towards the monster. No! Stop! After eating the fruit, Adam and Eve realized that they were naked. So they created clothes out of fig leaves. It was kind of like, it was good. They then heard God walking in the garden. They hid themselves among the trees of the garden. God called out to them saying, "Where are you?" Adam then stepped out and explained that he was afraid because he was naked. God then asked, "Who said you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to do?" Adam in defense said, "The woman gave it to me." This is like when you and your brother get in trouble for eating cookies before dinner. "Mom, it wasn't me. It was him. He stole the cookies." Even though she could see cookie crumbs all over your shirt. Adam should have known better. God then says to Eve, "What have you done?" She then told God that it was the serpent who told her to do it. God then looked at the serpent and cursed him. He told the serpent that he will forever eat dust and will be on his belly. God also put a feud between the woman and the serpent. Looking at Eve, God said he would bring pain to childbearing. Ouch. And to Adam he said, because you did not listen, he cursed the ground, making him have to work hard to produce food. His life will be marked by pain until he returns to the ground. So next time you're in trouble, be happy your parents don't curse the ground you walk on. God then clothed Adam and Eve with animal skin. He explained that if they didn't eat from the tree, that they would have been able to live in the Garden of Eden forever. But because they ate from the tree, God banished them to forever work on the ground which Adam came from. Then God placed an angel and a flaming sword to guard the tree of life. And this was the story of Adam and Eve. If you liked this video, share it with your friends. And tell me, what animal name would you have changed? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you next time on Nerd for the Word.